Good morning, Augusta Nation. We're going to start the morning off with the ride to our first estimate of the day. We have about 25 on the board today. I've got them optimized so that they're all on one side of our town here in Augusta, Georgia. You got the suburbs outside of Augusta. Grovetown and Evans is what we'll be targeting today. And every one of these estimates is a result of using our email marketing strategy. So here at Augusta Nation, we've got a bunch of preset emailers with nice graphics of our logo and pictures that are associated with work we're doing this time of year. So yeah, I've got a hoodie on, and here in Augusta, Georgia, if it's below 60, I think it's about 50 degrees right now, warrants a hoodie and a long sleeve. So a little chilly this morning, but it is a beautiful day. And so all these estimates today are generated from an emailer we sent out yesterday. Our CRM that we use, the software that stores all of our customer data and does our billing and scheduling, has a function to where we can send out emailers, and they're already developed, already designed. And this one in particular is just talking about the fall services. In particular, we call them winter services, but it had a nice graphic of Max raking some leaves and some other pictures for work that have Augusta employees throughout the nation doing fall type services. So we offer winter services here, which includes debris collection, sticks, pine cones, blowing off hard surfaces, weeding beds, and things of that nature. So we sent that off. We had about 2,600 emails that got sent for people that have come into our database, either have gotten an estimate from us and never had any work done, or maybe did a one-time service, or maybe just doesn't use our service currently. So sent all those out, and we've got 25 estimates on the board today. People requesting a quote. So we're going to hit them today. We got the 25. My goal is to get them all done, because I know that others will be filling up. All they have to do is click a link. They don't have to call into the office. They click a link and automation goes to our command center. The team behind the work that schedules everything, answers phones, emails, and so they go ahead and schedule that person for a drive-by estimate. And I'll take you on a journey today, and I will kind of explain how I estimate properties, as far as I'll show them to you, let you know the budgeted hours that I'm going to assign for each property and how I come about that. So this is definitely probably going to be the first video that I've edited together. So we'll start here. We'll have clips of myself going through properties, just showing you some things that I think about, and assigning a budgeted hour for the tasks of winter services. So stay tuned, stay with us, and we'll show you some properties today. All right, so we just arrived at the first estimate of the day. I'm going to go take a look at the property, analyze what it needs for winter services. And if you're asking where I got this beautiful automobile, got it off Facebook Marketplace for $4,000. And there goes Max, your handsome and lovable golden retriever. So this is the property that I'm going to be analyzing today. And for winter services, debris collection is the highest priority. We don't really see a whole lot of trees. This is a newer neighborhood. They clear cut everything, so not too many trees to worry about. Still learning how to use this Osmo here. Sorry for the roller coaster. And then I'll also just check out the beds, as far as, because we'll make sure to keep the weeds out of the beds. Those still do grow here in Georgia during the winter. We've got rock beds, so you have to do a good bit of hand weeding so that it will look good. Shrub trimming, that one needs to be trimmed, but it won't need trimming after that first trim. And also what we'll look for is plants that need to be pruned during that winter season. So like here in Georgia, we got crepe myrtles, lantana, sometimes hydrangeas, depending on the preference. We've got a rose right here that'll need to be pruned. Oh, and there we go. We got lantana that will need to be pruned, perennial back to its base. So those are the things I'll be looking for, and just taking a look here. Like I said, not many leaves, but during the winter services, we'll blow off all hard surfaces. We'll blow off the grass. We'll do some pruning, and in the backyard, most of these neighborhoods don't have too much going on as far as winter services, but we will take a look. Um, if I was here for a mowing quote, I would, check out the gate size and see if we'll need to be using or can use a riding mower, or if we have to use a push mower. So back here, none of these plants will get pruned for the winter, and there's no debris collection. So the only thing we'll be doing here is making sure these beds, stay weed free and blowing off the patio. So for this property right here, as far as winter services is concerned, I would just put either a half hour, so 30 minutes, 0.5 budgeted hours, or 40 minutes, 0.67. And that would be on a bi-weekly basis. So that would be this yard right here. I'll submit those notes. Hey, hold on one sec. Hey, Augusta Nation. So we just got to a property here. It's a perfect candidate for our winter services that we offer. Right as I pull up, I notice a crepe myrtle. We prune that in January and February. And so we'll also notice pine trees. It's got a lot of pine needles and pine cones, sticks that will drop throughout the season. We got another crepe myrtle over there, so that'll be something else to prune. We'll go through the beds, collect the pine cones, blow off the hard surfaces, and we'll be also looking for other plants that we'll be pruning as well. So we got some knockout roses right over here. We'll be pruning those in January. And then, so we'll come check out what's in the backyard. And we've got more pine needles. We've got some hardwood trees beyond the property, one of them on the property. Looks like we've got a pear tree over here that'll be dropping leaves. And we've got some weeds that we'll get out of beds. We've also got some lilies over there that need to get pruned back all the way to the base, and a couple more knockout roses right over here. Another crepe myrtle. So we've got leaves, pine needles, plants to prune. We've got a whole bunch of services that we can offer throughout the months of November through February. And what I typically do, this is one of those services that kind of encompasses several different services. So the weeding of the beds, the debris, pine cones, pruning when necessary. So I try to think of a good budgeted hour for the property. So what we do is we think about single operator times. So, we'll have one team member on the property, and we'll set a budgeted hour time that they'll be able to focus on the highest priority for that visit, which is typically debris. And then whenever December, January comes around, be the pruning. So I would estimate this property right here for bi-weekly service would be fine for one budgeted hour. So that's what I'll do is I'll assign one budgeted hour to it. About to make the notes right now. And then Command Center, our office, will send off that estimate probably before I'm even out of the neighborhood. So thank you, Command, if you're listening. Really appreciate you. That's how we do an estimate here. A lot of properties aren't as good at candidates because they don't have debris. So, some properties I don't even recommend winter services to at all. But this one definitely fits the bill. Hey, Augusta Nation. So we are on the way here shortly to the last estimate of the day. And as you can see, the ones with the check marks by it are the ones we've went by. We had a great grouping today as far as route density. I've already been to 22 properties, and we had 25 on the list. A couple of them not going to. One didn't have an actual address, and one of them was just a turf treatment. So I can do that, just measure the property via satellite and send it. And one of them is for Christmas lights that we're no longer doing. So about to head to the last one. I was going to show you just an example as far as, the notes that we take and all that. As far as all of these were mainly for winter services, and every once in a while I'd come up with one that needed a proper cleanup. This last one I went to requested, they wanted a turf treatment quote and then also just a small property cleanup. So as you can see up here at the top, well, at the bottom is the first notes. So winter services, and then I put one budgeted hour on that. So one team member will knock it out in one budgeted hour. The descriptions of the services are already pre-programmed in our CRM. We use Service Autopilot. So what Command Center will do, since I've hit complete, they're probably already working on it, or will be shortly. They'll select our winter services with our description already in it. They'll assign, the client won't see the amount of time. They'll see the price, which would be $75. They'll go ahead and send it. And then as far as like a property cleanup that's specific to the property, I will write these notes as I want them to be described in the estimate, which will also serve as the guidelines for our team on the ground. So for all property cleanups and any project-based work, I do a video and we save it to WhatsApp. Just wanted to show you what it looks like on my end. And also as far as what I do in between estimates, what I really enjoy doing is just gaining knowledge about business and leadership, and just all aspects of knowledge, really. I've grown to really enjoy. This is one that I started this morning, No Fears, No Excuses by Larry Smith. And if I don't finish it up today, it's only got an hour and 46 minutes left, I'll definitely finish it up tomorrow. So I was super surprised when I started listening to Audible about how much dead space, how much dead time, which, devoted to, just kind of non-productive social media, or just when you're driving, what you could be doing. So just this year alone, I've listened to a good bit of books. I don't really have a count on it, but I think it's definitely over 50. And we make this available to our whole team. They have our login. And that one I was reading today, No Fears, No Excuses, was kind of a counter to one I finished earlier this week, or maybe it was last week, Discover Your Why by Sam Bathla. So Sam Bathla was saying people misrepresent the follow your passion. He's saying really what you're looking for is a purpose. So, your reason for being, and then versus the emotion of passion. And then Larry Smith, I think they're identifying the same thing, just one's calling it a passion, one's calling it a purpose. But it was pretty cool to see the two competing ideas of the same principle. So now I'm off to the last estimate of the day, and then I'll wrap up at the office and I will head home.